Hello, welcome guys to the drawing session number 4 of the Frank Zappa I've been doing. Um, Maybe you have watched the other videos, and if you did, yeah, hope you like this next stage. It's almost complete. Right now we've moved on to like a heavy duty 6B pencil. As you can see, it's pretty dark, so I do have to be careful when using it because it's hard to erase the super bold pencils once you put them down. And like I said in the past, I try to not erase things because it kind of changes the paper. So I'm very careful of where I'm placing things, and I've worked very carefully. If you have seen the past videos, just layering things from the bottom to this stage, many layers, just keeping in mind the skeleton of the man and where things belong. So at this point, everything is in place. My brain really doesn't work, or it doesn't have to work too hard trying to keep in mind where things are because it's already laid out. So at this point, it's more of like just detail and trying to put the right shade of black or white where it belongs, and not mix them up basically. At this point, I just got done working on the mustache. It's a mustache, so it could go pretty dark, and as you can see in the image, the man does have pretty black hair. So, and the image is also it's not completely black and white, but it's on the black and whitish side. So his hair does get extra black because of that. And then moving on to the frame of his shades, which is one of my favorite parts here. And that one I'll keep working on it, because right now at times it kind of looks weird because there's some super black parts that kind of jump out at you, but I will kind of blend them in as I go along. And then it's just working in layers and layers and finishing one layer, and then being like, does this make sense? Okay, let's go to the next layer, or let's change something. Did I make something lighter than it's supposed to be, or did I make it blacker than it's supposed to be? Then you kind of assess. So at this point, I'm just making more decisions as to what needs to be darker to kind of make the final image, basically. And then still using that napkin so that I don't smudge the paper, basically. And then I'm going to be using a little bit of a HB pencil in this part for his face, because the face is on the lighter side of this drawing. So the darker pencils obviously will be reserved for his hair mainly, and his shades, mustache, goatee, that kind of stuff. The shadow underneath his neck. This is also kind of a delicate process here with the HP pencil, because when I was doing the shades on his face that are coming off of his glasses, you have to be careful and keep in mind the frame of his face, the skeletal frame of his face. When you're putting that shadow down, you have to make sure that it makes sense, that it follows the natural curvature of his face. And obviously these the shades are gonna get much darker as we go along. Definitely one of my favorite or funner parts to draw of this drawing. The hair just it's a lot of work. It's it's one of those things that I'm looking forward to just getting it done. It's gonna look good once when it's done, but the work it's a lot of work. Working on a few details. And yeah, this is looks like some kind of like the light is reflecting off from where the photographer was taking his picture. And yeah, I'm using the HB pencil to draw those. I mean, I could always choose to draw them in like a 2B pencil and go lighter, but it's different because the darker the pencil gets, the lead gets softer somehow. So HB has a stronger lead. The pencil itself is stronger than the 2B pencil, so I prefer to work with a HB pencil and press a little harder in certain areas. And if I let's say I was to use the 2B pencil on that, then there is a higher chance of it smearing, basically, because it's a softer lead, like I said. Yeah, here also just putting down super delicate lines for the teeth. Teeth are, you have to be extremely careful with teeth. You can screw them up really easily, and once you screw them up and you try to erase it, and it's not gonna look the same as a clean paper once you erase it. So teeth, you have to be extremely careful. It's just best to do less on teeth. Just fewer strokes, careful, few strokes put down where they belong. And then from the center to the left and right, as the teeth go, they will definitely be a little more shade on them. And then the ones that are on the corner of his mouth definitely will have a little more shading on them than his front teeth. Yeah, and then his cheek, and then some of these things are just developing an eye for things. So over the years, I do have a certain amount of kind of collected memories of what works, what doesn't, and just so I will make certain lines or shades, and I will kind of look at it and decide, is this enough? Do I need to do more? Do I need to blend it, or did I do too much? So yeah, and this some of the lines I'm putting here right now are gonna kind of speak to the little curvature of his face right before it kind of becomes what you visually see as the edge of his face. There's gonna be a little space there where it curves, and there's always some kind of little shade, little grade of shade there, which if you do it perfectly, it's gonna make his face look nice and round. Yeah, so overall he's coming along great. still a little more work to be done. Obviously, the background still needs a little. I want to kind of darken the background slightly more because I want his face to kind of pop. A little more contrast always makes a picture look better. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just kind of taking my time when doing things. So, if somebody might say, "Whoa, you're working kind of slow here," but it's there's a lot going on in my mind. My brain is working a lot. I'm just considering a lot of things as I'm doing things. It's just a lot better than just putting the strokes down just because just because you feel like you have to do it, and then it just kind of doesn't make sense. But as you practice and go on, I guess you naturally get to know what you like, and just with experience what work, what doesn't, and you get to kind of know what you're aiming for, which kind of helps. So this brush, I'm using this brush just to mute things down just slightly more, basically to the point where they're not white. Because if you can see the image, there's not really a whole lot of white on it. So that's what I'm doing with this brush. It doesn't do too much, but just enough to not, so it's not white, basically. Then looks like, a little closer look. And it looks like I'm about to pick up the baddest pencil I have here. The bad boy of my collection, which is the 9B pencil. It's the darkest pencil I've got. So once I put these strokes down, there's no going back. So basically, whatever I put down right now is going to be the darkest value in the whole image. So I have to line up the whole image according to that darkness. So I have to make sure whatever I use with this pencil, press hard, that spot is going to be one of the darkest spots in the drawing. Because if I put it where it's not supposed to go, then it's going to just confuse the image. So again, this is reserved for the darkest parts of this drawing. So guys, thanks again for coming back and watching this video, and I'll also be putting up the other ones. I think maybe one more video until the end. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. This is Barry again from barryart.com. Thank you. See you soon.